Briana Aldridge, joined by Clarence Hill from DLLS Cowboys. And the theme of today and probably the rest of the week until we get to Sunday is Micah Parsons playing his former team for the first time, coming into AT&T Stadium. Now, Clarence, you're sitting in the press room when Schottenheimer is kind of, it's just another game. They just want to go 1-0. Is it being downplayed a little bit?
Well, he says it's another game, but then he details we have a plan for Micah. He's a great player. He's a dominant player. He's probably going to sack, and then use a curse word. I hope he doesn't get a sack. But we're going to have a plan for him. We're going to hit him. And so all we did was talk about Micah, And Jerry's selling Micah. He's on every other podcast talking about Micah. He's on every radio show, still trying to justify the trade. So on paper, just another game. Okay, it's one of 17. They don't play 16 anymore, they play 17. It's one of 17, yes, on paper, and that's all it means. But, yeah, it's a homecoming game. It's a big deal. Jerry at least told us the other day on Monday when I talked to him Monday, he said, his competitive juices are flowing a little more for this game. It means something. And we know it's personal for Micah, for sure, and his family, who they didn't want to leave and everything else. So, yeah, everybody's going to say the right thing. Just another game. It's one of 17. It counts no more than the other, but when things are personal, when there are feelings involved, the juice is going to be flowing until Sunday night when the Packers put their whipping on them, right?
I can't speak to that. I gotta see Clarence. But I mean, it doesn't help that the Cowboys are going to be without two starting offensive linemen, so that's another story there. And they say that there's familiarity on both sides. Schottenheimer said, it could go either way. Micah knows our tendencies and vice versa. How much do you think Micah Parsons, just Micah Parsons, we're not even talking about who the other three people up front are next to him, how much can they hurt this Cowboys team who's been struggling?
I just want to speak the familiarity thing. Matt Eberflus was familiar with Chicago last week.
That's fact.
He drafted the quarterback. He coached most of those players. He knows them as well as anybody. Did it matter? I just want to address that familiarity thing. It is what it is. The Cowboys were going to be handicapped trying to defend Micah, no matter who was on the field. Now you're without two starting offensive linemen. Okay, Tyler Booker's out. Beebe was already out. You're gonna have two backup offensive linemen. Listen, T.J. Bass and Hoffman are solid. Solid, good backups, but they're not starters. They're backups for a reason. Michael, they move him around. He doesn't just rush from the edge. He rushes from the end. They move around the rush. He's going to try to take advantage of mismatches. And let's be honest, there are already mismatches on the outside, with Terrence Steele and Tyler Guyton still trying to get his feet in the second year. So it's going to be trouble. And Shotty's right. It's not just Micah. They have other good players. I mean, they have a good run defense without Kenny Clark, and they have a great pass rush in Rashawn Gary and Ezra Cooper at linebacker. They have some difference-making players, one of the best defenses in the league. And then you add Micah to the mix. He's going to have a huge impact. Yes, the Cowboys are going to give him a lot of attention, but those other guys, you got to worry about them too.
Some positive news for the Cowboys, though. Deron Bland's back out on the field. We saw what it looked like for 2 games without him. Not saying the secondary was super strong from the jump, but how much does Deron Bland being out there, even if he's ramping up, if he's able to step on the field Sunday?
Yeah, Bland looked like he's trending toward playing, but Diggs didn't practice, and so he may be playing for Diggs. I know when I saw them, he was playing in Diggs, the spot at right corner opposite Elam. So, you still don't have your 3 best out there right now, at least on paper, because if he's healthy and Diggs is healthy, then Bland is most likely going to be in the slot. But, yeah, you want your players back. He's one of the players they paid who they think, is a foundational piece, and you want him back. But, the biggest news about coming back, who's going to play, that didn't play last week, didn't play the first 3 weeks, is what? What's his name?
Who?
Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney.
Don't ask me his name. I'm still working on how to say his first name.
Jadeveon Clowney. We talked to Jadeveon Clowney today, and he was itching to go answering the play last week, and he was kind of disappointed he didn't play. They told him before the game he wasn't playing because he was thinking he was going to play. He only signed, on Monday, really, and thought he was going to play on Sunday and only had a couple of walkthrough practices. Today was his first day in pads. First day in pads since the end of last season. To the last game at Carolina at the end of last season. He hadn't been in pads at all. So he's trying to get used to the pads, but he's ready to go. He thinks he can help the team. He was frustrated not being able to play last week and help them, but he says he can help him as a pass rusher. He's ready to get off the quarterback. He's excited to go.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you this last question. I'm not even going to get to the offense. We can talk about offense tomorrow. That's a whole other conversation with CeeDee Lamb not in the mix anymore. But when Schottenheimer said the other day, they're looking at possibly making some changes in the lineup. Obviously, he's not sharing that with us, but where do you see that could be when he's talking to make this team better going forward?
Yeah, that's the frustrating thing, because they've seen these guys, right? They know, they chose the starter. They saw him at camp. I'm looking, maybe Wanya Thomas gets more rest for Donovan Wilson, the safety. Again, you got Bland coming back, and so you have to do what's going to be the lineup there. Clown is going to play. Jadeveon Clown is going to play. Who's going to be down among the defensive end? You saw last week they did make a change. They moved Mozzie in and had him active and playing a lot of run defense instead of Jay Toyer. So, and you may see some things at linebacker. And some changes there. So will it make a difference? I don't know, because if you can't get to the quarterback, it opens up things in the secondary. One thing that Jerry said is that the reason you play zone defense is to prevent the big play. They played zone defense, and they still couldn't prevent the big play.
A lot of big plays.
A lot of big plays.
A lot of them. Caleb Williams looks amazing. So did Russell Wilson, who's not a starter this week.
Caleb Williams, NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Shocking.
Courtesy of the Cowboys defense. Hopefully things will get better. It's only Wednesday. A lot can happen from now until then. That's it for now. For Briana Aldridge, for Clarence Hill.